95.5 KLOS.
The Pitbull of Comedy, Bobby Slayton hanging out with us. He's going to be at Flappers in Burbank Friday and Saturday nights. For tickets, go to flapperscomedy.com. Now, you were saying that you've been married to your wife for 27 years. How, I mean, after that long a marriage, how's the sex?
With my wife?
Yeah.
Sex is great as long as I don't get caught. That's the problem. That's the big problem. You know, then you become like Tiger Woods and David Duchovny and David Arquette. You become you have to go on TV and say you masturbate, you cheat on your wife, you're a sex addict. By the way, you know, that term sex addict, if you go Google sex addict, you know, you'll see 95%. I'm telling you, who needs Dr. Phil? They say that 90 to 95% of all sex addicts are men. Well, that's the problem. If women would step up to the plate and meet us halfway, we wouldn't have the addiction. And it makes it sound like we're junkies, that we have a drug problem. And when you stop and you think about it, sex is a drug, and women have the keys to the pharmaceutical cabinet. You're the ones that you're the ones giving us the dose when we're a good boy and we buy you enough crap.
Right. We were talking about that earlier. Yeah, the chore play.
The chore play, and you know, we pay for the car wash. I mean, it's an old joke. It's an old concept. But you know, when you talk about paying for sex, I think married men, and you know this, Frank, we pay for sex more than anybody. We pay with our lives, with our soul. You know, we pay and we pay and we pay, and it doesn't.
Do you have to verbally? I mean, do you have to say, okay, now if I go wash your car, then you know when I get back, I'm getting a beach, right? Or is it just assumed?
No, that's being whipped. If you do stuff like that, you might as well just go see 50 Shades of Grey and go hang out with Bruce Jenner and have it lopped off, pal. By the way, I saw Bruce Jenner. He used to live in my neighborhood, and I used to see him all the time at Starbucks or Coffee Bean or I don't remember what the place was, but he'd always come in and order a double espresso. And I see him the other day, and he gets a cafe latte coconut decaf. He really has become a girl. I mean, he's embraced from the bottom of his soul. He has become a woman.
Yeah, he said that
the girly drinks
since he was been 5 years old. He's known that he's been a woman inside, but he's kept this whatever struggle going on with himself all this time.
You know what? Look, I got enough things to worry about. God bless the transgender people, but you know what? Between Ebola and the polar ice caps disappearing and the gluten problem, people dying from gluten. God forbid you have gluten in a Snickers bar. You combine peanuts with gluten, you might as well have Seconal and a Stoli. Who are these people dying? I'm sorry. By the way, I'm sure parents will call up. You know, my kid died from a Snickers bar. But yeah. All I remember is when I was 7, 8 years old, 95% of every kid in the classroom, lunchtime, had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I never remember looking over and going, what happened to Timmy? He's a pile of dust. His ears started to bleed. Smoke started coming out of his ears, and you know, and he's dusty. He started to melt.
And then the gluten too. You were like, you go around Italy, what? They're eating gluten all over the place.
The country should be called Glutally. They should call that country Glutally. Nobody in gluten's ever died from gluten, you know. But now people are dying and dropping dead all over the place. They're getting salmonella from spinach because some illegal immigrant in Modesto's wiping his butt with the lettuce, and now we're all dropping dead. So come see my show before it's too late.
Yes, go see his show before it's too late.
I get one more plug in there because you guys will never talk about me if I don't. But you know what's weird? I listen to all those people calling up, and the reason they're getting divorced is, you know, my boyfriend didn't like Frozen, and this woman thought she was a witch, and people are just insane.
Is there something, though, that a crazy reason, something your wife does, pet peeve, whatever, that you could sign the papers based off this one thing that she does and she won't stop doing?
Talking. If she would shut up. If I see people
You'd be a happy man.
I see people with sign language walking down the street holding hands. Like, these are the luckiest people in the world. How do you yell at each other unless you got to bear those giant hands for the baseball game, those foam fingers? Hey, that's the greatest thing ever that your wife can't talk. And I'm going deaf and I can't hear. 27 years. If she would just stop talking.
Well, I have good news for you. You've been married 27 years, and they say that a new study found that couples have a second sexual peak, and that'll happen after you've been married 50 years. After 50 years, you guys will be all into each other again. So good news.
So just
yeah, I guess.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I guess. You know, I'll be happy in 50 years, or when I'm 70 or 80 and I get Alzheimer's and I don't remember anything, and I can watch Seinfeld and Breaking Bad over and over and over again every day. You know, my wife, you just saw The Sopranos. I've never seen this show. Why? Who are these Sopranos? I would just sit in front of the TV watching the same crap all day long.
Sopranos really something.
I know what you're saying. I started watching The Sopranos again. I don't remember the episodes. I'm like, this is a great show.
It's just great.
I've already seen it.
It's just great.
So you mentioned 50 Shades of Grey, and I don't know if you're lying or not. Did you take your wife to see it?
I would rather be caught naked in a urinal with George Michael if I could do a reference from 1980 and then go see Duran Duran. I hope they're getting back together.
Yeah, Duran Duran tickets coming up next.
You know what? I put on my Facebook page. You know, I'm up to my friends limit. I don't really care about the social media crap. I know you guys have to do it, and I have to do it, and you got to tweet because you want people listening, and the station makes you do it. And you want more listeners, but none of these people are my friends. I don't want any more friends on Facebook. But now I find there's people in showbiz that want to friend me, and I can't friend them because I have too many friends. So anybody that invites me to play Candy Crush Saga or any game is unfriended. And so I've done that. And then I put on my Facebook page, and I don't keep track of how many people listen. I go, anybody that saw 50 Shades of Grey this weekend, I want you to unfriend me. And any of your whipped boyfriends, I want you to unfriend me, and I want you to die. Any guy that went to see this,
That'd be you, Eric. You went to see that with your lady, right?
You had to see it?
I did, yeah.
What's wrong with you? See,
I like
newly
having
married.
sex with my wife.
He's newly married,
You
so he's still whipped.
No, you're the idiot they were talking to earlier. You're big boy. You're big boy with the pregnant broad?
Yeah, that's me.
Got her pregnant right after the wedding
Oh,
night.
you're an idiot. But you know that. You know, if you don't know it now, you will know that. Because, you know, these guys like you, because I was like you too, delusional and in a different world, Prince Charming. But you know what? You look at Frank, you look at me, you look at every married guy, you look at your father, and you look at every married guy, and you think it's going to be different for you, you egotistical schmuck. It's not going to be different. She's a monster. And you're going to have this baby, and you're going to fight and fight and fight, but nobody can help you. You know what it's like? It's like if I'm standing on the side of Niagara Falls, and I see you in a little raft, in a rowboat, with the little cartoon hearts over your head, and I know you're going over, pal. I know you're going over, and I can yell all I want, but you ain't going to hear me because you're in love and you're delusional. Hey, good luck, by the way.
Thanks, Bobby.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Thank you for
You know,
that.
you know, it's like you're driving on the 405, and there's traffic going the other direction for miles and miles and miles, and you're just whizzing along on your side, and then backed up, and you see a guy getting on, and you want to go, don't get on, you're screwed, and there's nothing you can say to this jackass. How'd you like the movie? You like the movie? No, we're not taking a break because you need to cry more and call your wife. We're not taking a break. We're not taking a break. You don't decide. Heidi and Frank decide when there's a break. All right, you know what? I got to go. Before I got to take my blood pressure medicine. I'll be at Flappers. Bobby Slayton, our favorite guest. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. His wife will be there because I know how to treat a broad.
He's even letting her get dessert and bring a friend.
Get the tickets, flapperscomedy.com. Bobby Slayton, always love having
Thanks,
you.
guys.
We're going to take a quick break. Come right back with you. What is it? Your third round of the Know What's with Heidi Hamilton next. We're Heidi and Frank.
The Heidi and Frank Show. Mornings on 95.5 KLOS. LA's #1 talk show in the morning. On air and online at HeidiandFrank.com.